Welcome to another episode of At Your Disclosure. This is your host, Alex Ruben Tovar, on that fabulous fine and Friday, titled Makeup Peak Edition. So, reason we call it Peak Edition, or at Tom Speaking Hayden Road. There was this lady, 2015, that would apply makeup all the freaking time in the morning on the parking lot. And some of the bank associates would tell me, like, hey, did you notice that lady? Someone's applying makeup? Yeah. Best thing to do? I take that license plate. For the most part, you did that. It's a good reason they wouldn't target your bank. I mean, the camera captures all, but by you doing that, it caused a reaction. You documents and everything, so they know off the back, hey, not right here. So, Peak Edition meeting. I got a video for you guys after this song. Ozzy for Black Sabbath Warning. One of my favorite songs. I ever became a WWE superstar wrestler. This will probably be one of my entrance music. See how it starts? Doom, 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 doom. So anywho, bank robbers, Target. Merchant line. That's where the most money is held. And if you're a merchant, you're going up to the top. You're going up to the front. My wife used to work for Tidal Max. Good old Jess in Las Vegas. And she would average out $14 an hour in 2011, around there. So we had our own house, the Shepherd House. And freaking life was good. I was working at Poly West America and Bank of America. So I'd work 6 days a week, 2 days at the banks, and 4 12s at Poly West America. Loved it. Loved Poly West America. BOA. It's a lot of standing, 12 hours, and same thing at the banks. So going home and unwind with a nice beverage. It's funny, my old bank cat before becoming his supervisor, his boss. Yeah, I just go home, play Flight Simulator with my drink. I knew off the back. Enough said. So she'd average out about $14 plus $800 bonus every $10,000 loan with Tidal Max. And we'd go to B of A. On my days off, I'd take her in our 2004 Honda Civic EX. So she'd take the money bag, and I escort her straight to the merchant line, and they help her out immediately. So she was taking a good amount of money, and life was good. Had a 3-bedroom house, 2-door garage. Had my parents living with us. They couldn't cut it. We bought this food cart at a yard sale from this Hispanic family, and they tried to take it over. So I better see it, or else someone's being sent to court. I'm sick of it. Pops is insane. Every single little thing. Here's what I made, by the way. So when I welcome you to my house, just know that dibs on me. Courtesy's on me, my friends. Felt sounding like Abe Simpson. And yeah, friggin' another thing too, on Tom Speaking Hayden Road, Peak Edition. Love Tom Speaking Hayden Road. It would get packed first, middle, last of the month, but on Fridays. So the bank was freaking get almost to like the entrance full of people. Everyone acts accordingly. That's why it's important to hire a compatible bank protection officer, part of the cost protection officer division. So try to go over there and be like, hey, you know, he needs a home. I felt like a dog on a chain. So, there used to be this lady. She also worked at one of the smoke shops around there at shopping center by Greyhawk area. She'd also had one of those vape pens, so she was always vaping it. It smelled like cotton candy. As soon as I'd greet her, she'd come from where the drive-through, and she'd blow smoke right at my direction. As soon as I greet her, I'd open a door for her. But well, that attitude kind of makes you not want to do anything for her, but they'd attend her like this. So I noticed that this young lady, young teller, would always attend her. And a couple times, she'd take off some older dude, older male, come back, a little changed, and hey man, you know, what can I say, man? You gotta make your money any way possible. And yeah, I'm not too sure how long we're gonna be shooting out of this room, out of my room. I read the landlord's mind because of yelling at Zane. Hey man, how are you gonna disrespect my house like that? I don't know, you guys. You guys talk to my parents, you guys force them to do things. Everyone around here forces them. If it was just the original members, the original people that are supposed to be here, which is myself, my wife, and my mother, brother, would be any problem if I knew this was gonna happen? I'd have just been like, alright then, well, it would have been no problems. Everywhere I've lived, never had any problems to anyone until now. I don't know, those people that pay too much attention. I'd stand in the, go outside my house when I had my 94 Nissan Sentra. That's another item that my father sold, just because under his name, but it's my vehicle. I bought it off Abraham Aranda. We used to be friends from North High. We used to all be good friends from North High School. And he's just the type of person, one-up mentality. Oh, well, I'm gonna go to his house when he's not home so I can try to get some from his wife. So he's a homewrecker. So, you know, as much as I like the guy, it wasn't worth it because I wouldn't do that to him. He'd tell me, go to my house, my wife's gonna be there, drop her off somebody, sold me the vehicle for like $1,200. I could have easily gone in there when she was at home and been just like him. But, you know, there's men out there that have honor, have a code. You gotta develop a code before the age of 18. An unbreakable one that you won't break it for anyone. That's being a man. So if you believe in the golden rule, then you're golden. So that lady, basically, because of that reason, something happened like almost like 2 years ago. That's, and you know something, he took action upon himself. He goes to the backyard. He goes up to me with a bat, hits me in the freaking arm. Bah! He tells me too the reason for it. I'm like, all right, well, go ahead. So he hits me on the arm and takes off, and that's it. All right, so it's squashed. Wasn't enough. Pops let him in, and he tortures me right here. So when I wake up, my freaking arm is hurting me. But because of my stature, because of my girth, you know, back then I'm like at 230, 240. You know, big husky motherfucker. Going on my tours, and my assigned Princeton's an 8-mile stretch that has me covering 19th Avenue and Bethany, Bank of America. Right by there is someone that has partaken in bank occurrences and robberies. So, you know, I don't like saying who's he connected to, but let's just say we used to work at Chase Field, Banquet Ballpark for a company called Desert Ice Enterprises. And, you know, I've met a lot of great people there. There's the Zapatas, the Quiros, and, you know, the Garcias. We had all these families, and that's the beauty of working there. The Tolmars, the bosses there, the Joneses, Williams, they love hiring. the Sanchez, De La Pirate family, because we all became one, and it's unfortunate when someone steals, we all lose. I have a clean record. I'm their porter manager. I'm setting up the stands and closing them and making sure they're stocked up, making sure everything's operational, everything is in running condition, everything's operating optimally. And so I'm gonna put this video on for you guys, so you guys can watch it on your own from Insider, how bank robberies actually work. Oh, speaking of USAA, and Small World having to work with Mr. Don't disclose his name. He's already under investigation. That's why he's my favorite. Can't get up, ruin it all for all of us. This is why it's titled Makeup. Love that episode of.
For anyone out there who's watching this, and you think you're gonna go commit bank robberies the way I did, or I'm telling you in here, you're gonna find yourself in jail. Do bank robbery. So one of the things that I would do initially when I walk into a bank is walk in and go straight to the merchant teller, because I always knew that the merchant teller would more than likely have the most amount of currency. We've watched so many movies.
Did you hear that, newbies?
Hands in the air. I think people.
So as a BPO, pay attention who goes to the teller line. What is he carried? If you see someone go on the teller line, he doesn't look like a merchant. Usually merchants carry the little money bag. Keep your mouth shut. Everyone's gonna get that idea to fill that up. You gotta put a sock in it.
Keep looking forward.
Passive aggressive. No, sir. I have my coffee. I'm a bit dehydrated. Why do you do what you do if I have to emphasize the law enforcement? You're a bit loud that day. You know, I sat next to Roy in front of me.
Either very compliant or very slow to move.
He would always wonder, how come some are sent to Scottsdale?
I would kind of tailor.
Smelled your cologne, Versace the bed. Said he wished he could smell that good. You know, Roy Garcia is tough. That's a tough man.
Probably be a little bit more aggressive to the overall crowd. Checking the temperature, doing that one teller, I knew that one merchant teller, I knew if I decided not to go in the vault, then I would still have a reasonable, outcome for the payday. That merchant teller, along with the manager, is the person I would have walking into the vault. And like I said, if they were just a little too afraid or anything, then there were times where, I wouldn't go into the vault. Typically, I picked banks that were.
Does that mean off of ill? Life is.
That way, I knew that that bank would more than likely be the banker for all those merchants that were there, and that would mean that bank.
There's no wrong with looking inside the bank too. You could even step in.
The other thing was, it always had to be a bank.
You can hit tour, go inside of 5 minutes, see how everything is. You can even take the man's description, he documents and everything. That's gonna put pressure on him. Take his description. Whenever you need to call it in, you have the man's description. Get his license plate, make, model, whoever you need to call. You have all this information. They will nail him or her.
Watch to see who looked like they were in the most control. So sometimes I'd case a bank for a day and a half.
Case a bank.
If it was a big bank, and I would watch the flow. I'd watch the timing of the flow. I'd watch the pickup.
Flow, huh?
I took probably, I don't know.
He's the one that got you jumped.
A month off.
The guy in the white truck, sells meth. Told your sister Natalie after throwing Benji's brother under the bus. USAA. Look at that.
Employee manual.
Yeah, that's another key reason not to rob a bank. You're already reading the manuals. Might as well work for the bank if you are allowed.
During my bank robbery,
you have a clean record.
As far as a tire would
0
go,
felonies.
always trying to
anyone can work the bank
whatever
as a teller.
Element
You have good
His
credit, by the way.
It was always pretty much just
Unless you're
dressing
in
down, jeans,
high school, then
jacket, trying not to stand out too much.
Oh, in the winter
I
too.
definitely use
It's a lot more
the
robbers.
crazy go-to
Bank robbers want
to
extra
protect my fingertips,
money for
and
presents.
my palms. I would
Quote,
always wear a
unquote.
pair of glasses. Always a baseball cap, and that seemed to cover enough. The mascara would be basically depending where I was. If I was in a place where there are more ethnic
That's how they
people,
do apply makeup, so others would see that as the bank to rob whenever you're around. Not good. That's how lady would always ask you that you take her plate still, that you notice that lady. Some of the bank associates would ask you to go
I would actually look at weather conditions.
take a plate down.
Because of course,
Somebody would ask you to
in
go
an area
inside.
where it's going to be raining or overcast, you can layer more. If it was sunny outside, there are a lot more people out. So there's probably more chances for you even to blend on a rainy day.
You know, they were going to TBO with Jesse, the admin over at Concentrics.
We're going to probably be looking
Sanex parent company does Concentrics, and they're going to send us to Baltimore. A lot of times in the FBI, they'll marry you. They'll team you up, and you end up getting married. For as much time as you spend together, kind of like you said, Lil Brown, you say, make me want to marry you.
So we've seen in movies that cops
Gotta love your enemies. Jesse's not my enemy one bit. Love Jesse. If I would emphasize the Jesse.
That is not just Hollywood. So I would park across the,
Love my wife
street
too,
or
but we are separated.
some
It's a
direction
shame.
where I wasn't alone, standing out by myself. My car wasn't the only one. I always used a car that would fit in. Something that was really typical, that you just see a lot of.
There they
What I
are.
always try and do is make sure that wherever I was parked, that
Oh man, the worm. But yeah, I'm glad we have a little intermission so that way I can explain some more on some of the experiences that brought you this far with me. Luckily, I'm still alive. Not for long, you will die eventually of starvation. Funny.
To get away and then kind of disappear.
I'll never starve with the people I don't
So when
It's been
actually in the bank,
have friends and money.
once I felt I was
Pull you out of
outside,
ruts.
I would turn a corner or something, then
Get a
I
hold of
thought a
Miss
little
Daly,
bit further once I was
Miss
in
Liam.
front of the- As soon as I'm in my car and my mascara's off, I turn on my radio, roll down my window,
The Sarge,
take off my hat, and I'm singing. I've got music on.
Mike Clark,
Cops pass me. I'm looking
Miss
at
Costello,
them. They're looking at me because
Mr.
what
Sabo.
they're actually looking for is the guy that's not looking.
Angel,
Listen, when a bunch of cops
which
roll
is my
past you,
Cuban friend in Las
that's what we all
Vegas.
do. We all look.
Oh man, that
So,
water.
the one guy
Coming
they're
in
looking
pretty
for
soon.
is the guy who won't look at them. As they're driving to it, they're looking to see if anybody's trying to ignore them first.
Oh, most of his bank robbers
How
too.
I end up
They
checking
take
for guy
muscle
packs is
relaxers.
different depending on what type of money I took. If it was just the merchant teller,
Oh,
then of
just
course
like at
that money
Lincoln.
is
Taking a
loose,
break with
even
this
though
lady
it's
from Townspeak and Hater
it's
Road.
still loose.
Off the back,
So
told
what
me we're
I
gonna
would
start
do is
including
once I
the
got all
inkjets.
my mascara and things off and I was set
I like
to
ruining money,
drive,
just to let you
I
know.
literally put it back
Taylor
in
says she missed you.
next to me.
Maybe also got her
Go
cleavage.
through it, then throw that
Said if you were to repeat that, then she would have gotten you
I would
fired.
get back to my
You tell about
statement
Show Hopwood. You turn in your report in the morning.
money,
Should have gotten you fired. You're lucky that you got slip much and a quick glance is quite normal. That's why she didn't raise her folder up
hide the money in several different places
in all the world.
to be a little bit more
Ryan
specific.
Thompson
There was
snapped your
this one
dick. You
place
passed.
that I
that.
opened up the floor.
I laid on the floor. I wasn't feeling too
At
good.
one point they had just millions
I guess
of
the
dollars in this floor. There were a couple times.
sleep aid medication was still in effect, and I couldn't help it. I should have just gone to the restroom
A safety deposit
or to the
box.
my vehicle had got dropped off. I should have gone outside and sat by the dumpster. Hell, that shit's dangerous for all of us. You sleeping outside, someone golf to you and
A very, very close
Drop a
person,
rock on your head.
relative, a sibling, had gotten involved with a criminal organization. There was just no way he was going to get around this.
Stick a nail.
It would have been a matter of life or death. Had this debt not been paid, taken care of, the person would have lost their life. Those first set of banks that paid off that debt, those 6 though were a lot less preparation and more desperation. Initially, I felt bank robbery was this victimless crime. I thought it would just be a better
That's why the BPO is there to prevent life-threatening situation. You ain't gonna enter the bank with no guns, no rifles. Hey, this happened before. Happened to
My first bank,
J. Robert
I
Brooks
was literally just looking
for realizing that he had no choice but to
going down the freeway and
survive.
So
He let him in. Hey, just don't hurt anyone. Complied. Everyone complied. In and out. Hey, everyone kept their jobs, kept their lives. Well, that's the important part.
Wells Fargo. And I sat there for a time period trying to determine which one I should go in, just watching the flow of people at this baseball cap and stuff, and I kind of pumped myself up at this firearm with me and heading towards the bank. And as I get towards the bank, 2 things happen. One, there is
You got a higher
this
sentence,
lady
carrying
who
an
was at the
actual
bank that seemed pregnant to me. And it was just like,
handgun,
wow,
actual
I can't believe
weapon.
how pregnant ladies are. She gets scared and the baby's home, so I was like, wow.
He had a knife like the Hydro Bandit. But a gun will definitely land you years.
Car window right there, and I look in the car window and I notice, oh my god, I can see myself. Like I can make myself out.
Yeah,
So
depending
I go
which
to
state per
the
round,
store in my house down the road,
they give you
look in this
extra
backpack,
years.
and I also got some mascara and some crazy glue to put on my fingertips.
That's how you don't open doors, but matters not.
Any fingerprints because I didn't want to walk up to the bank.
You fool, that arrow's gonna use super glue, crazy glue
Pretty obvious.
on their
It was Sunday
fingertips.
afternoon. There was that cord while I was at this store. It just kind of struck
Looks like you're gonna
me
get
like,
sued. This was meant for you, not everyone gets this.
It made me
It's gonna be hard to find this on the internet.
purchase a replica, like an air gun or something like that, but it looked very, very authentic. So I purchased that and decided to use that in the robbery instead. Realizing that I probably needed a bigger bag, so I ended up grabbing this backpack. I realized that the backpack had these double zippers that I could partially open that would make it like a perfect sack. That would be able to put things in, still have another hand for it. Hence the name
Kangaroo Bandit.
When my consciousness
Right now there is a
started
Back Again Bandit that's at large, robbed over 100 banks.
no longer hide
I got the FBI
behind
newsletter,
the life and death.
and that's all I do.
That was there
It's either
before.
narcotics
I know if I would have kept doing it.
or bank
when
related.
I decided to turn myself in,
Well,
of course I let my family know first. And,
you think of what's causing the
my
most
attorney and I, we
damage to this
contacted
country.
the FBI.
Robbing a bank
And
itself is
at first they were
funding
like, yeah,
criminal organizations,
Absolutely.
as well as
What
the drug
I didn't
epidemic
know,
we have in this country.
someone had already kind of given them my name.
That's why, as your future
Contacted
state
them on
senator, we
Wednesday,
need to put an end to this.
Thursday, excuse me, on Friday.
Calm down, Ronald.
No, we're not
Reagan.
doing that. They did this huge
To Ronald
raid on my home.
having germs on the tip of
Thursday.
his
But
mustacio.
what they were able to
Yeah.
tell me is that they found
That's
something
gross. There, you thinking of Ronald.
which they were able to find before he
Germs
left.
in your
He and I
mouth.
had this conversation. He gave me a-
Nothing more than
So I
germs.
told him, I'm gonna take
Gross. It's
some time to go
say Nerf
spend
stick.
with my family. And then when I'm ready,
I
I'm
wouldn't
gonna turn
have
myself in.
Thing to do
And I was
with
letting
it.
him know,
Me
don't worry,
being married.
I'm not gonna
I like the
lie.
taste of honeydew.
I'm gonna keep my word. I told him I'll keep my word.
Uncle owned a bed and breakfast, and for breakfast in high school, bed and breakfast is well worth it.
After I had greeted my family,
Sent out to you,
I actually walked up to him.
North
and
Glendale.
we kind of embraced. We actually hugged each other. I surrendered. It was like, okay, now I'm good. I did not understand back in that time the psychological tolls that the victims suffered,
Oh, definitely.
the heavy costs
They stick
I
a
was
gun in your
having
head.
others
She ain't coming back.
to
He ain't coming back.
to get out of the situation I was in.
Men usually
And
stick
so
around.
what I've done
Tyrell said he's seen his bank
to-
robbed
in an
several
attempt to
times, even while you
rectify that
outside the
or to
door.
make right,
He was gonna tell you once that if we get robbed again, we're just gonna move locations. Can't stand to be robbed anymore.
and
Kristen Howard would shake in the break room, and she would call her
that
relatives.
suffered at,
Call her mother once, telling her that she's gonna go to a different bank location.
you know,
The
maybe
BPO we
it's
have is
something more
mentally challenged or
actually,
a lunatic. Hey man, Scottsdale, anywhere.
Those wrongs. Volunteered for years.
Sometimes you might not know that you're telepathic. You know, I've advanced, definitely.
Whether it's an inmate or a former inmate or a victim, or other people that are moving through lives that don't have criminal aspects, but just get stuck in life.
Okay. So, we'll save this for some other
The
time.
NBA is back, and the key to victory is a strong starting five. Because new customers can get $5.
No stressy, Jesse. He says that after he friggin' done. Well, that is my edition of At Your Disclosure. And we are always looking for the latest catch. You go to the FBI, bank robberies. There used to be Arizona Bandit Tracker. That was a pretty good one, but now the FBI has taken over it. It's that site there is still more. So some states they'll have their own version, but for the most part it is regulated by the FBI. So another thing too, you would take notice. All right, so even at Thompson's Peak and Hayden Road, you know the guys that hold the signs, they pay too much attention. Put it this way, keep it in mind. I started in Las Vegas. Welcome to FedEx Las Vegas. Did post at Lincoln, and ended up at Concentrics. Just to take a leave of absence. And I thank Major Watts, Jonathan, love that game, Castlevania. That is a portrait of Ruud. If it wasn't for him, I thought I had lost it. No more banks. I thought I had lost it the last day I was there, 2014. There was a slouched man that I had gotten fired because of a customer telling me, "Hey, one of your men was on leaning on a pillar, asleep." So I told Chad, and he got rid of him like that. They don't play. He's not gonna risk his career over you or the next person. Now Chad, at one point I was his favorite. Love Chad. He take me inside his Juke Nissan, tiny little car, looked like a damn shoe off of Mario 3. You know, a little green boot with Mario gets in there so the freaking man-eating plants won't eat him. Tiny little shoes. So both of us in there, him checking my serial number on the Wackenhut Corporation. Revolvers we didn't buy off of ADT when they held the Fort Knoxville account in Kentucky. So the Wackenhut Corporation, when it was, and I'm an original, during when G4S was Wackenhut G4S Secure Solutions starting in Las Vegas. So I definitely know the in and out of the company and what it's become as an organization emerging with Allied Universal. So, you know, he'd smell like cigarettes and take a picture of my the bottom of my service weapon. So, put it this way, I'm gonna give you guys some good advice, sound advice. Anyone that pays too much attention to you, pay attention to them back. Why are you here? Most customers they'll go in and conduct their business. They'll greet you, they'll be cordial. Some are in a good mood, some are in a bad mood. Don't expect everyone to be Mr. Friendly just because you're in Scottsdale. But the guys holding the sign, they're paying attention. They're constantly, and even on the radio, if you notice, because I would advise you to go to different locations unless you have a radio with you. Then with that, you could just send in the codes and boom, you have cooperation. So, um, pay attention to all that, and just people approaching you that walk to the bank. Pay attention to all that. And like I said, you can step inside the bank. You have your cell phone. You know, there's an NFC tag, QRC code. You scan it in. You hit tour, and you go inside. You step inside for like 5 minutes. Yeah, Chad would always do is he'll take a 5-minute break, go inside the break room, microwave his food, go back out to clock out for his 15 or 30-minute break, granting him an extra 5 minutes, which if it's 15, it'll be a 20-minute. If it's say 30, it'll be a 35. So at the end of the day, you get an extra 15. So that is 30, an hour, and 15 minutes total breaks. You can take advantage of heat, cold breaks. You can step inside the bank. Smells good. You know, but always get a witness card. Always take out your pad, document everything, person's script. You'll put them on edge. Sometimes they retaliate. I had some Native Americans at 6570 Scottsdale Road for going to close the gate off of the trash. They would notice I'd pay attention to the plates, and then I'd take out my notepad. So you got to be discreet about it. The end of the shift, I had like 4 or 5 natives rushing through the hall before the double doors. And luckily, Greg, I confused Greg and Gary, but he drove a silver Jetta, Audi. He's like, Alex, if you want, you can come in. It was a hot summer day. Says if he wouldn't have done that, because I had the keys on me. Probably shouldn't tell you that, but I go in there. As soon as I step inside, 4 or 5 natives freaking rush in. I had to freaking close the door, lock it up, signal, we're closed. And they were still trying to open it. So me in there, I could have been attacked, having my strong arm. If you're overcrowded, strong arm to your side weapon, and keep your distance. You know, so it's okay to just walk away. Act like you notice something over there. You know, and that's how you do it. So you're not being overcrowded. Keep your strong arm on your service weapon, and you can extend your arm if you need to. They don't need to come any closer to you. You are armed, and you won't pull it out unless your intention is to destroy the target. That's how you are trained, and that's what it's for, to defend yourself. I got another episode maybe over the weekend. I couldn't drop on Wednesday. I had technical difficulties. But that being said, back in production, and hopefully we can make better BPOs here in Arizona. And there's a good chance I might relocate back to Las Vegas, running for Congress. It's not going to be easy, but at the same time, too, there's family issues. That's why I came up with the show. Advertise. This Alex Ruben Tobar, at your disclosure.